19 years to say even 40 years are exposed in a party mood on an autopilot where it is non-stop. They don't go home, they don't take a shower, and there are existing laws, Mr. Speaker, yes, that regulate the time that alcohol should be sold according to the Alcohol Bill of 2010. Mr. Speaker, in developed world, in the developed world, in the West, where we copy a lot of things, and let's face it, they're ahead of us in many ways. Clubs are closed at 2 a.m. No party. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of National Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations on the upsurge of a popular trend known as Aluta in Nairobi City and its environs, involving the sale of alcohol and other substances beyond the recommended hours. In the statement, the committee should, 1, outline plans, if any, by the government to address the concerning rise in uncontrolled alcohol consumption, clubbing, and partying among the youth, particularly in Nairobi and other urban areas. Number 2, provide comprehensive statistics on licensed nightclubs, bars, wines and spirits establishments in Nairobi County, indicating whether they pose any risks to nearby communities. Number 3, state measures put in place by the government to ensure strict adherence to the legally prescribed hours for the sale of alcoholic drinks as outlined in the 4th schedule of the Alcoholic Drinks and Control Act of 2010. Number 4, spell out plans by the government, if any, to ban and control the escalating Aluta activities that pose a significant threat to the lives of young individuals at risk of substance abuse, including alcohol. And finally, Mr. Speaker, outline the government's initiatives to address the growing number of wines and spirits outlets within residential estates in Nairobi City County, clarifying whether there are any legislative gaps that may be addressed to regulate and better manage the abuse of alcohol and other substances. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Boni, you can only rise on a point of order when another senator is on their feet. Senator Boni, where I sit, at the time you're standing on a point of order, Senator Karen had actually completed making her request for that statement.
Yes. Mr. Speaker, indulge me under Standing Order number 1. The debate in this House is not just for our consumption, Mr. Speaker. It's also meant for the public. And Mr. Speaker, majority of the members here are good speakers of the English language. She is speaking of something called Aluta. And in the English language, I do not know what it means. Mr. Speaker, under Standing Order number 105, I request that you allow her to tell us what Aluta means, because we want to follow her. We need to know.
Very well, Senator Boni. Senator Karen, kindly explain what Aluta is. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, the trend I'm talking about involves the consumption of alcohol or partying and clubbing on a continuous mode, non-stop, from Friday evening, for instance. You choose to remain in the club until until Monday morning, whereby young young Kenyans and the youth at the age bracket of, say, 19 years to, say, even 40 years are exposed in a party mood on an autopilot where it is non-stop. They don't go home, they don't take a shower, and there are existing laws, Mr. Speaker, that regulate the time that alcohol should be sold according to the Alcohol Bill of 2010. Mr. Speaker, in developed world, in the developed world, in the West, where we copy a lot of things, and let's face it, they're ahead of us in many ways. Clubs are closed at 2 a.m. No partying goes on in the United States of America, for example, past 2 a.m. Here in Kenya, the youth who are supposed to be participating in economic activities, the people who the future of our country relies on, are busy partying, thinking of nothing beyond tomorrow than having a good time the next weekend. Mr. Speaker, if we continue like this, we are going to lose a whole generation. I have a personal experience where in the University of Nairobi, I met a very good friend who was in Alliance High School, Mr. Speaker. A very bright, beautiful friend of mine who was schooling with me at the University of Nairobi Law School. And Mr. Speaker, we were exposed to an environment where our parents are not in campus, so you had to make your choice, whether you want to drink and party non-stop. And Mr. Speaker, as we speak, we lost my friend some years back because, for me, Mr. Speaker, I had a doting father who kept checking on me my every step.
So, Senator Karen, just have your seat.
Mr. Speaker, I'm just trying to demonstrate the effects
Senator Karen, just take your seat, please. Order, honorable senators. If I got you correctly, Senator Karen, Aluta means non-stop partying. Can that sum up the very long statement you're giving us? Aluta means, is it a concept?
Mr. Speaker, if you put it that way, if you say it's non-stop partying, someone might assume that this person is partying, normal partying hours, like they're partying till 6 a.m., going home and partying tomorrow.
Order, Senator Kenya. Do you partake of these parties?
Mr. Speaker, there are notorious clubs, nightclubs, about 7 of them in Nairobi. I will take you round, Mr. Speaker, if you want, on Sunday morning.
Order! Order, honorable senator.
On Sunday morning,
Order,
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable senators, can the senator
Mr. Speaker, on Sunday morning, as others are going to church.
Senator Karen, you can only take me around churches in Nairobi. Conclude.
But Mr. Speaker, as other people are going to church on Sunday morning, you will see another different type of church. And at some point, when they are very drunk, they will break into gospel song, and the DJ will lead them into a service and a mock service. And Mr. Speaker, when you see the videos that are coming from these parties, it is very sad because the age group, I would not be very concerned if it was Senator Mazayo involved in that. The age group is very worrying because these children, first of all, they don't have...
Honorable senators.
They don't have a source of income. They live with their parents, so they don't have a source of income. So my worry is, and the case study that we should also carry, where is this money for non-stop partying coming from? It could be funded by the popular Wababas, taking advantage of our girls. Mr. Speaker, this trend...
Senator Karen, I think we've understood what you meant. Let's leave it at that.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Hazana. Senator Hazana, proceed to make your statement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.